Well, it's September, and that means new Google hardware is just around the corner. And the company has been pushing a lot of updates recently to Google Assistant devices, so we've got a lot to cover in this video. Now, before we dive into the new features, a word of warning. If you live outside the United States or you live in the US but do not use the US English version of the Google Assistant, some of the features demoed in this video may not have rolled out to you just yet. First up, Netflix. Yes, Netflix has finally started to make its way to Google Assistant displays, starting with the Nest Hub and Nest Hub Max. You can now binge whatever Netflix show you want right from the Nest Hub Max or Nest Hub. To get this to work, make sure you go into the Google Assistant settings, scroll down to videos and photos, and link your Netflix account. Then, on your display, tell the Google Assistant to play the latest episode of Queer Eye or whatever Netflix show you fancy, and it'll start playing that show. Next, did you notice something different about the Google Assistant settings? Well, actually, it wasn't just the Assistant settings that look different. Google has revamped how the settings look for the Google Assistant on mobile devices, but they have also revamped the Assistant Snapshot view for both iOS and Android. Assistant Snapshot is a great way to get a summary view of your most important tasks. Assistant Snapshot would already show you things like your commute times, agenda, and reminders to pay bills, but now it'll show you other important things like other reminders, upcoming birthdays from your contacts in English-speaking countries, and holidays. The snapshot view will constantly change and update throughout the day, making sure it's showing you the most relevant information at the time you check it. Google is also adding other recommendations in this view as well, like recipes to make for dinner or nearby restaurants that deliver. You can even have it send you notifications, and when you click on that notification, the assistant will bring you to the card in Assistant Snapshot with some suggestions for follow-up, like telling somebody happy birthday or even singing to them. You can get to this view by opening up the Assistant app on Android or iPhone, or asking the assistant to show you your day. Now, as mentioned before, the Google Assistant settings got a minor tweak in their design. Now, it'll show you popular settings first, followed by settings for your devices, and then the rest of the settings follow that, listed in alphabetical order. Now, one feature that's new is called Family Bell, which allows you to create custom bells that announce different activities to members of your family through Google Assistant speakers. Well, actually, they only announce it through one speaker. You can't play bells on a group of speakers. You do need to choose an individual Google Assistant speaker to play a bell on. You can add whatever bell you want, or take a look at some of the recommended bells from Google, like a lunchtime bell or one for going to bed. This is a great feature, especially for families who are going through online learning right now during COVID. Here's an example of what a bell can sound like.
3, 2, 1. It's a prime time for math time.
All right, next up, let's talk multi-room audio controls. Google has rolled out some new features in this space, the first of which is called multi-room control. Now, you could already group speakers and play media on a group of speakers before, but now you can add and subtract speakers playing the media in real time from the multi-room speaker view on Google Assistant displays. Also, one additional thing they added was being able to ask Google to recommend some music. When you do this, you'll now see artists and playlists pop up on the screen in a card view, and you just tap on the card you want, and then it'll begin playing that media. Also, speaking of displays, starting on September 15th, Google Assistant Smart Displays will be able to show not only the date a photo was taken that is being displayed on the screen, but also the location that photo was taken as well, if the photo is coming from a Google Photos library. So be on the lookout for that feature coming soon. All right, next up, let's talk about some smart home devices that connect to your Google Assistant. Google just rolled out a new feature for you to be able to tell the Google Home app what exactly is plugged into your smart plug, and then the Google Assistant will learn to treat it like a certain type of smart device. So, for example, if you classify a smart plug as a light, it'll turn on and off with the other lights that you have in your home when you tell the Google Assistant to turn on or off your lights. To add your device type to a smart switch, tap the smart switch in the Google Home app. Then click the gear icon to go into that device's settings, and then click Device Type. There you'll see all the different device types you can choose from, like air conditioner, humidifiers, a TV, etc. Click Next, where you'll be able to edit the name, and then click Save. When you back out of the device's page, the image for it in the Google Home app will likely have changed to reflect the new device type that you chose. Next up, let's talk games. Google has recently expanded the number of games you can play through its devices, and on Assistant Smart Displays, it's actually now given you a card view where you can scroll through all of the different games that you can potentially play on the device, making it easier to discern which one you actually want to go for. And I have to admit, some of these games are actually pretty fun, especially in my humble opinion, the trivia game and especially Movie Quiz. That one is definitely addicting. To see the games, tell Google to show me some games I can play. Some games you can play are Song Quiz, Are You Feeling Lucky Trivia, Guess the Drawing, Riddle of the Day, Puzzle of the Day, Dwarf Mine, Jeopardy, Dustin from Stranger Things, Animal Trivia, and Movie Quiz. Now, some of these games are just using audio, while others have cute visuals like the Feeling Lucky Trivia game. Let's take a look at a few of these games in more detail. Now, one of my favorites is Movie Quiz, where you hear clips from movies and have to guess what movie it is. It supports up to 4 players, but you can play by yourself as well. And when you play by yourself, Movie Quiz will actually match you with an opponent from around the world. You can also choose to guess movies from a specific decade, or you can play in expert mode, which will mix up clips from all decades. Song Quiz is very similar to Movie Quiz, except you'll need to say the song title as well as the artist in order to get full points. Jeopardy works in a very similar way to the actual game show. You're asked questions from various categories, and yes, you do have to answer in the form of a question, just like on the show. Here's an example.
This is Jeopardy! And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Trebek.
Thanks, Johnny. And welcome. Time to get started.
Our next Jeopardy category is German animal names. Words for nose and horn combine to make Nashorn, the German name of this animal.
What is an elephant?
No, that's incorrect. The correct response was what is the rhinoceros?
Lastly, the I'm Feeling Lucky trivia game made by Google gives you really cute animations during this game, so I definitely recommend playing it on a Google Assistant display. The Assistant will give players cute nicknames, and then the answers you have to give vary from true or false questions to numbers, etc. Here's an example.
For this game, I'll call you Freestyle. Moving swiftly along. The category is language. Which of these English words comes from Malay? Mustard, tsunami, bamboo, or orchid?
Bamboo.
Much obliged. Bamboo, fabulous. Bamboo came to English through Dutch explorers, who picked up the word from Malaysia and Indonesia. You got 2 out of 5 correct. Now present yourself to the great factoid and accept your imaginary prize. You got a participation trophy. The great factoid is strict but fair.
Alright, now the last thing I'm going to mention is that Google a while back made a change where by default the Google Assistant would not save audio recordings from when it heard the trigger word. However, if you want it to save audio recordings as well as help improve the Google Assistant, you can opt in by going into your Google account and under Activity Controls, make sure Include Audio Recordings is selected. This will allow you to access the audio recordings that Google recorded when it heard the trigger word, but do note if you enable this feature, it does also allow human reviewers to go in and review these audio recordings to help improve the Google Assistant. Alright, well that's it for the updates. Now Google is supposed to release new hardware later this fall, including a new Google Nest speaker, as well as a new Chromecast TV with a remote, and of course the upcoming Pixel 5 and Pixel 4a 5G. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel for all the latest on Google Assistant device hardware, as well as Google Assistant feature updates. And if you liked this video and found it helpful, make sure you hit that thumbs up button below. For 6 months later, I'm Josh Tedder. Thanks for watching.